To make a pressure sensor, you're going to need your battery pack and your batteries. You're going to need your alligator clip wires. You're also going to need 2 large paper clips and a pair of scissors, a little bit of aluminum foil, and you can either use a buzzer or an LED, whatever you'd like to sound for your pressure sensor. When it feels pressure, it's either going to light up a light bulb or it could even sound a buzzer. And you're going to need a small piece of foam. Now this piece of foam is kind of thin. Basically, you just need a piece of foam or even a sponge that when you press it, it'll actually pop back into shape when you're done pressing it. So any regular piece of foam will work just fine as long as it's the squishy kind, okay, the kind that squishes back. So sponges tend to work pretty well there. So you need a piece that's about 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches or even 2 inches by 2 inches, okay? All right, let's get started. The first thing you need to do is cut out 2 pieces of foil that are just about as big, as large as the foam piece that you have here. So let's do that first. You can place the foam right on your foil as you cut, just like that. And you actually, to be honest, you want the pieces of foil to be a little smaller than your foam. So if I line this up here, I see that I can't quite see black all the way around, so I'm just going to trim it a little bit more, just like that. And so when I put it on, I can actually see black on all 4 sides. That's what I want to do for both sides of the foam. So I've got one piece that looks great, and I'm going to put my other piece on. And again, it's still too big, so I'm just going to trim it a little. Just like that. Okay, so I've got 2 pieces that are slightly smaller than my piece of foam. The next step is to actually cut a small hole right in the middle of the foam. Now, you got to make sure you do this without putting a hole through your hand. So using your scissors, kind of put a drilling motion in through the foam until you see the scissors come out on the other side. Okay. Once you've got that, you can put your scissors into the foam and cut out a small square. Now, when we do burglar alarms with kids and we make these pressure sensors, this is the single reason that their sensor doesn't work, because their hole is too small. You want to be able to fit your finger, or if you're a kid, you're going to fit 2 fingers through the hole. Okay? So if you're in doubt, if you're not sure if your hole is big enough, go ahead and make it bigger. Otherwise, you'll have to take the whole sensor apart to make a larger hole. Okay? Just like this. So you can actually fit a whole finger through there. Okay, let's put the whole sensor together. Now, you're going to make a sandwich. You're basically going to sandwich your foam between 2 pieces of foil. And again, you want to make sure the foil, you can see the black on all sides of the foil, just like that. Okay, we're also going to put 1 paper clip on each side. I'm going to have this paper clip facing one direction and this other paper clip facing the opposite direction. Okay, so the top one is facing this way and the bottom one's facing the other direction. And I'm going to wrap this whole sandwich up in tape. So I'm going to carefully put that down. Get a large piece of tape. And go all the way around my sandwich. Okay, making sure that I am putting my paper clips one out of each direction of the foam. Just like that. Okay, so I can see my black all the way around, and I have paper clips pointing in opposite directions. Now, how do we hook this up? Your pressure sensor is actually complete. Let me show you how this works. Now, for this example, I'm going to use a buzzer. And before you ever put any new burglar alarms in your circuit, you always want to just connect whatever it is you're going to turn on and off, like the buzzer, in just to make sure you've got it in the right way. So I'm going to hook up my circuit and hook up my buzzer. Alright, and the buzzer works. So I've disconnected my red. So when I connect the red, the buzzer turns on and off. A burglar alarm is basically a switch. And when you engage the burglar alarm, it's actually going to allow electricity to flow. That's all burglar alarms are. So I have my red wire here, and now I'm going to connect these 2 points together, the red wire from my buzzer to the bottom paper clip of my burglar alarm. And I'm going to use a green wire to do that. Okay. My buzzer should not be on because the burglar alarm is not engaged. So here's my battery pack. Electricity goes through the wire, through the burglar alarm, through the green wire, through the buzzer, through the black wire, and back to the battery pack. So it makes a giant circle. Spread yours out so you can see the giant circle, so you make sure that all your connections are just right. Now, here's the idea. You want to step on this. As soon as you step on it, that's why it's called a pressure sensor. You hide this thing underneath a rug or something like that, and when your parents come down the hallway, you know they're coming. So there's your pressure sensor. You can make this into a silent alarm by removing the buzzer and instead inserting a light, an LED. So you have this wired into your room, and this could be out, you have longer wires, and this could be out underneath a rug in front of your room. And so when your parents come in to kiss you goodnight and they step on it, a light comes on in your room, and you know they're right there. Go ahead and give this a try.